Welcome to Jason's Jewel of the Week, the best gambling segment you've never heard of, where I give out at least one pick each week with my name on it, my lock of the week, my jewel of the week. Now, last week I had to break my heart and pick against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens as Kansas City was a 2.5 point underdog at home against the Ravens and their worst defense in the NFL. And yes, if you followed my jewel of the week, then you cashed right next to me as the Chiefs beat the Ravens into submission physically and mentally by the score 37-20. And it wasn't even that close as they cashed that 2.5 point underdog bet that we had on the Kansas City Chiefs. As a result, we are now 3-1 on the season, 29-11-1 overall over the last 2.25 of the seasons. And we finished September of 2025 with 3-1 record, and we move on to October. Now, for more details on these bets, I started the season with a $250 bankroll for Jason's Jewel of the Week, with each jewel being a 10-unit bet, which equals to a $25 bet each week on my Jewel of the Week. At this point in the season, with a 3-1 record, I am up 18.9 units, and I'm up $44.97. So let's see if we can add to these totals. This week, my jewel of the week is none other than the Detroit Lions, who I was able to lock in at -9.5 points against the Cincinnati Bengals. Crazy enough, this spread has already risen to -10.5 points. And while I have them officially locked in at -9.5 on my sports book, I would not be afraid to take them at -10.5 either. And I'll tell you why. You see, since 2023, the Dan Campbell led Detroit Lions, when they are double-digit favorites, their record against the spread is 5-1. In 2023, the Lions were 2-1 against the spread as double-digit favorites. And in 2024, the Lions were 3-0 against the spread as double-digit favorites. That's right. Dan Campbell knows how to defeat bad teams. And they like to run the score up too. So let me be clear. I feel really confident in this pick. The Bengals have scored 13 points combined in their last two games, and their defense is still pretty bad as well. They gave up 48 points to the Carson Wentz-led Minnesota Vikings. Bo Nix and the Broncos did whatever they wanted to the Bengals, and again, they left some points on the table as far as I'm concerned. Now, the hottest hell Detroit Lions are rolling into Cincinnati this weekend with their high-powered offense, the stingy defense, and they are going to face none other than the Jake Browning. So, yes, jump on this spread early and often, as this could be a 12 to 13 point spread by the time we kick off on Sunday. And even then, I'm still good with you taking the Lions and the points over the Bengals. This game should be a massacre, period. Anyway, that's all I got for Jason's Jewel of the Week. Y'all be easy and good luck with your bets. Peace.